Okay, so just looking at these starting teams, Kantai kind of stayed the same. Rolling with the one cruiser, taking two NorCals on this map. Maybe Blackbeard's known for being a good carrier. I'm not 100% sure. A huge, guys. Difference is Syndicate's team.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that lineup. They don't have a cruiser.
Zero cruisers, rolling four destroyers. Now it looks like how many spots are there? How many caps are they going to have? If it's four cap, it's a three cap, so it's not as important having the extra destroyer. Um,
I
Kantai's
don't
kind of
know. Do
keeping
you
the
think they're
same.
even gonna go for cap points?
It'll be interesting to see what happens this game with Minikaze if he can control the air still. They have the extra destroyer, which is pretty strong, but Minikaze has just owned the sky. And if he owns the sky, is another destroyer that strong?
This is definitely really ballsy on Psy's side. I'd be really worried about that carrier because they've only got the two North Carolinas. They can't cover that whole fleet, and they don't have anything at all to disperse. So, if they're playing a really aggressive game, maybe it'll work out okay for them. But they gotta be super careful here.
Now we got two destroyers to switch to submarine Wahoo. Basically, the Kantai stayed almost the exact same. Looks like they're rolling double North Carolina. Interested in why they did that. Woe 9 has now swung in, now playing for him. Who did they switch out for that?
Can't even tell with the
Yeah.
needs. It's so hard.
Or Yura? No, Yura's still there. Woe 9's in, double North Carolina. Interesting. We're statistically. The North Carolina is the lowest performing battleship damage-wise, although it has the best AA. Submarine Wahoo and carrier Yeeho, I guess, are going to be pushing B. Now they have to be a little careful because they know that the other team has more destroyers. One destroyer spotted on A. I don't know if I like this. If I like the no carrier situation.
If they're playing all aggressive, it might pay off. It looks like they got two cap points right off the bat, And if they can kill those DDs on, if they use their DD advantage, I don't know, the Kantai ship girls DDs are gonna have to play really hard this match.
One thing I'm looking for on this map right now, and Land Warrior is kind of, from what we can see, all by himself.
Look at that Taylor. Taylor's got two DDs on him.
Oh, there we go. Switch over to Taylor really quick. One thing I'm kind of looking for is Destroyer Taylor. Destroyer Taylor not taking any damage though right now. Possible? No, looks like Red Fro is going to be able to get out. He might take some damage from Destroyer Taylor. And it looks like Destroyer Taylor is the only one that's kind of gone that pseudo-aggressive build with the no life, with a little extra life. Looking for that third destroyer right now. C has not been contended at all. At least two destroyers on A cap. B has at least one. Haven't seen Black Star yet. I think that's the only destroyer that I haven't seen. Spectrum Mage and Captain are on that side. Looks like they're basically spread out kind of perfectly. Still nobody contending C. Destroyer, is he Neo? He doesn't take any damage. I don't ever see him taking damage ever. He doesn't take damage when it's 2v1.
I could not tell you. It looks like looks like Kantai is pushing battleships to both A and B cap. And it looks like size battleships are also swept. This could be really interesting.
Right now we're seeing a huge
really sure
swing
what we're seeing here.
for the Kantai's destroyers. I'm gonna stick right on Taylor. That Kantai is gonna rotate.
Taylor did that point, but he damaged both of them, got away. I mean, in a 2v1, that's pretty much ideal.
Right now what we're seeing for the
That's a pretty
Kantai
good
girls
play by
is
him.
they've rotated all three destroyers over to B cap. And it looks like Taylor might be going back a little bit, but Red Fro...
That's not though. Look at those two North Carolinas have two Bensons on them and the two Tirpitzes. These North Carolinas are in a really bad place, man. You don't want to get this close to Tirpitz.
Let's go to Cruiser
and
Los Angeles really quick. He's
they
got to
don't
make
have
that
any
brutal
stability.
turn. Can he get the turn off in time, though? With all their destroyers, he knows are right there. But the one thing is that we're looking for... Going for Spectre instead. Spectre known for being a good player. All these guys, I mean, there's not one who say, oh, I don't... that's their weak point. You get these teams that are top-tier teams, and there's not a weak point. Maybe a weak ship, You know, and as we have talked in the Fubuki and whatnot, maybe a weak ship, but not a weak player. And you know, Redfro has got to be a little careful. Cruiser Los Angeles getting his guns right on him. He could put a solid, although he's got 12,000 life, about 11 and a half. A solid hit from a NorCal.
Look at that.
Oh, that's going to be huge.
Oh, see, we were talking about that Fubuki, and that's... Ooh, or was that...
Down to...
That was the Benson.
Yeah, that was the Benson. That was Destroyer Taylor. Man, Destroyer Taylor...
Vermicelli's going to go down, and he's not going to get either of those battleships.
Huge loss. Huge loss. Destroyer Taylor, in my opinion, is playing out of his mind right now. Not only is he just a cap monster, getting how many? 4? At least 4?
He still hasn't taken, like, barely any damage.
He's Neo, man. He's taking the blue pill. He's fine. Cruiser Los Angeles actually getting more aggressive and pushing and staying right on this destroyer. Will 9 kind of just doing the old school sit and... Man, Spectra.
Spectre Mage is trying to close in with those 2 NorCals, but he's got a broadside to Tago now.
It's balanced right out
I
this.
don't know.
Oh, down. Screaming Weasel down real low. 1,000 life with Carrier Hugh. Oh, down goes another destroyer.
Spectre Mage is going to be in a really bad place then.
So we got Redfro.
I don't know, this...
Let's go. Will 9 still back up. Will 9's going to take maybe some...
Played way too aggressive.
Will 9's going to take some torps. He's going to go down a decent, but Spectre Mage is in between 2 NorCals, a Kutuzov, and a Fubuki off to its right. What's he going to do? I mean, Redfro is pushing up with them, but all he's doing is firing at a battleship. Spectre taking a huge hit from looks like Will 9.
He's going to go down.
8K with torp planes coming in too.
Take Will 9 with him. Oh, that Kutsev's right there. If he can get a shot off and do damage on that Kutsev.
Torps are in. I don't know if maybe Will will take one. Flooding would be huge. 1 torp from the aircraft carrier down to 3,000 life, 4,000 life. Getting the repair. Whoa, dodges it. Down goes Spectra.
Spectre's done.
Down half their battleship core. Down destroyer. Although they have a cap and it's kind of uncontended.
Redfro isn't a place to dump.
Redfro just got
like
dunked
quite
on.
A few ships though, like almost their entire fleet.
Oh, Carrier Hugh.
He's spotted here. He can't move around and smoke like that. He just got spotted.
Cruiser UR with the kill. And Carrier Hugh, I guess. Put some torps on. North Carolina, Crazy Cole taking some damage. Land Warrior there too. Both about 30-some K life. Land Warrior takes another giant. I mean, they're just surrounded by torpedoes right now. This is how they're going to do. I mean, Syndicate is going to be holding on to this life, but they haven't lost any destroyers. 3 destroyers that can slowly just push up and take that distance away.
Taylor finally goes down there. Monkey go nuts. Looks like he's trying to smoke up Land Warrior, but Land Warrior is moving, and with the current spotting system, he is going to be spotted still.
Cruiser Tiger, Black Star down to about
That
2,000 life.
help.
Let's go to Cruiser Tiger. Oh, wrong one. Cruiser Tiger dodging
Black
almost.
Star Fubuki is going to go down right here. He is also
Down he
spotted.
goes. Monkey gone nuts.
Yeah, Sai has to be really careful with those new spotting rules that are been implemented in the last patch, because it looks
Personally,
like they lost a couple of D-days moving.
Not a big fan of them. It's relearning the game. So
I am not either. But
Cruiser Tago just pushing right into cap. Monkey gone nuts, super low. Cruiser Tago took no torps. He dodged, I think, 3 torp salvos. The planes aren't going to be able to do too much. Ooh, Submarine Wahoo takes a 1 torp. He might go down. Might be their only. Well, I guess their second loss now. But Monkey gone nuts.
How much damage do you think Sai has taken from the carrier right here this match?
Oh. Is he running balance?
Too quick to even tell.
Yeah. It was this game. The destroyer is just for Kantai did amazingly well. Amazingly well. There was so much torps.
Yeah, undergunned and just. Well, I mean, I don't know if the whole split push really worked out there for him. You know, those 2 Turpitzes were on their own. They lost that 1 DD and they had nothing. They didn't have anything there keeping them.
Maybe a little bit of trash talk there. Oh, Cruiser Tiger gonna take a couple torps here.
I bet what they mean is one of those DDs probably wasn't running Concealment Expert on it. That would be really bad.
Either that, or I didn't even see the carrier's planes. Maybe Blackbeard is only running a standard captain. Down goes Crazy. Oh yeah, maybe. Land Warrior down to about 13,000. Like they're just gonna push. They're just gonna push straight into him. Not worry about anything. Oh yeah, Blackbeard only has a sub 15-point captain with only 4 dive bombers. That means running fighter, he's gonna have less fighters in the sky and completely be able to. That's being. He is at such a disadvantage not having 15-point captain and getting that extra fighter and dive bomber. Not so much the dive bombers, but only having 4. I mean, 12 fighters in the sky compared to 15. That's such a disadvantage for Syndicate. I don't know if it would have won them the game, but it definitely didn't help them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Walking into a game like this without maxed out ships, you know, maxed out captains, that's a huge disadvantage.
This level of competition, I mean, although there is, Cruiser Tago's just putting a another shot into the belly of one of the sunken ships. This, although there's not like a prize or anything like that, this is the level of competition where you're going for bragging rights and you're going for I'm the best. And this is the one that in between games, you're going to look at your team and either one, switch somebody in that has it, or you're willing to reskill a captain, redo something that's worth winning you the game, you know? Especially in the last game saying, hey, if we need somebody, if you need to run AFT instead of Demo Expert on certain situations or run more life, those guys are going to be doing that. I mean, these guys are all competitive enough to do that, to invest the $3 or whatever it is to do that. So to have...
Yeah, I mean, take a look at the cost being Turpitses and Kutsivs, you know? If you want to run triple Kutsiv, triple Turpits, that's what, $120 right there?
Oh, yeah. Man, look at that. Who knows what an extra dive bomber could have done this game, but look at the combined health of Submarine, Wahoo, and Carrier. Could another dive bomber have finished both those guys off or spotted?
It
maybe
might have been able to.
And not so much even the damage from the dive bombers coming out and actually killing a destroyer. Could the planes have lived long enough to spot them so another ally could have done it? Huge win by Kantai. 3 wins in a row. That, I mean, that looked almost too easy.
I think Sai just misplayed that one. Looked like that strategy was, I don't know, man. They looked like they wanted to do some sort of split push, but those Turpitses didn't have any support, and they just, you know, charging Turpitses into the, you know, right up the gut.
One thing that
damage and died.
One thing to take out is look at how many kills the Kutuzov had. The Kutuzov knocked out 2 people, like, and the other team had 0. I mean, no cruiser. Yes, cruisers can get one shot by a battleship. We all know that. But and although Kutuzov didn't even shoot down any planes, it didn't really matter. But he killed 2 destroyers. It's a perfect support for getting those destroyers off the map, especially if you're running 4. If your destroyers spot one, a Kutuzov can hit a destroyer at 12 kilometers, 14 kilometers, no problem, because of the rate of fire and how many shells it's putting downfield. 2 kills, huge. I would assume Syndicate is going to be changing up their lineup a little bit. I would most likely see a Kutsev. I would most likely see either a retrained captain from Blackbeard or somebody else playing Carrier. I mean, Blackbeard, Minakaze is just...
Definitely might see Land Warrior step up. I know he plays a good bit of Carrier, and he's pretty solid in Carrier, so we might see him step up either to Lex or Shikaku.
Let's just compare Destroyer Minakaze versus Blackbeard, just stats at the end of this game. I mean, Destroyer Minakaze, a kill, 32 plane kills.
Blackbeard's got 3.
3 plane kills. That's nothing.
I think that's the only stat you got to look at right now as far as the carriers go.
Yes, Land Warrior and Crazy Cole, they put down about 31 combined, but...
Well, they put down 31 combined because they were getting dropped on the whole time.
Exactly. Because Destroyer Minakaze, he was just... If I'm Destroyer Minakaze, I see that last game, and do you get greedy enough to go balance? Do you drop the extra fighter and say, hey, we know this is their one guy they use? I don't know the past. I don't know if Blackbeard is their carrier player and that's just how they go. But do you get cocky and roll double and go a little bit more offensive? Or do you not even need it? Because you saw how convincing this win is.
I don't know. I think the Kantai's key to success here is just keep playing this. They've played
If it's not
just
broke, why fix it, right?
extremely careful. I mean, they've played extremely careful and extremely well, played game. They saw that Psy split push coming, and they just were able to knock out that left side of it. 2 Turpitz down right off the bat with the destroyers.
And
I mean,
of course,
those 2 destroyers died because they were spotted in their smoke. That's pretty big.
now, of course, the one guy named Neo and doesn't take any damage is the one guy to die on their team. Of course, that's my luck. But Destroyer Taylor playing huge, winning the fights that he needs, giving the vision. Carrier, I wonder how much damage he pumped out that game. I mean, he took... Spectra? Did he just pump out like 4 or 5 right into his side? No, I think it was before Spectra. I think it was Captain that just got annihilated right at the start. Destroyers on Kantai, as well as Destroyer Minakaze, their carrier, are playing out of their minds. The battleships are doing their job. I think the destroyers are going above and beyond and just doing work. Los Angeles playing huge with 3 kills, getting the hat trick.
Those DDs, they did not go down, and they had those torp waves off. Psy drove right into the torp waves. That was... Yet, I mean, Destroyer Taylor there should have been dead or taken damage. Like, he was, 2 Bensons on 1 Benson. That should be a fight you win. But if you don't control the air and then you don't run the DD battle, all that adds up huge.
And it ended up,
down the line you lose 2 Turpitzes because of it.
And it ended up being almost like a butterfly effect. Is he didn't get killed there on that, what was it, A cap, and he was able to make that curl over to kind of the B side, which then freed him up. Most likely he wasn't spotted, and then getting those side torps on the battleships. I mean, he put. I mean, I think into Spectre as well put big torps in. I mean, they made that rotation I think at the right time, because if you're going to push those destroyers off cap and get them far enough away, and you have the ability and time and the speed of a Benson to rotate back to the side and he maybe pick up a destroyer. I don't think they did with guns, but having the ability to at least get in a better position to get broadsiding battleships at sub 10 kilometers. That was an awesome move by Taylor. Really good job by Kantai. 3 wins in a row tonight. Will they do a double sweep? We'll find out.
That move by Taylor was just brilliant. He stayed alive so long. If you go from the time he was first spotted by 2 DDs on him, 7k away, 8k away, and then the time he finally died close to the very end of the match, he had a lot of time to do a lot of damage to a lot of people.
Now, you've seen Syndicate play in the past. Have they rolled this double or this quad destroyer group? Have they rolled a lack of cruiser, or were they trying to testing this out and seeing how it worked and it failed? Or is this something that they're known for it?
I would say Psy is definitely the team that probably innovates and tries to make the most gambles, in their games. Like the games they played against OP prior to tonight, the best games as anyone played against OP with Psy, and they ran a couple of crazy builds. I think their best match, they didn't even run a carrier, and they almost won it against OP Gaming. So, they're definitely bringing something, a little crazy and a little special in here. So Kantai's, they should still be worried, because I don't know. I mean, Psy could try and play a standard game, or they could totally change it up again. I don't know, I mean, who knows what would happen in this match if, they hadn't had a couple misplays on the DDs, and the carrier hadn't, had a, extra captain point, and the BBs had decided to group up instead of splitting apart. A couple things played differently. This might have been a very close or even a Psy win, because the 2 Kantai battleships were split up. So if you put 4 battleships on 2 battleships.
Now, something... Now, names that stick out to me on I know less people on these 2 teams. Of course, I know Woe 9, I know Cruise Los Angeles, I know Cruiser Tago. Some of the other names are relatively new to me. But for Syndicate, I know Black Star. I actually played against him today and actually lost to him earlier today. But he was playing the Benson, so I'd be interested to see if they do make a switch to that. They rolled... What did they roll? They rolled triple Benson and a Fubuki. Maybe they drop one of the destroyers and go a cruiser. Maybe Black Star switches from the Fubuki to the Benson.
You know, I gotta say, tonight we've seen a lot of Fubukis, and I haven't seen a single Fubuki salvo connect, you know?
Mm-hmm. That
I don't know if that's just people not playing it well enough, or...
and I mentioned that Kiryu Hiyu, or Hiyu, had that one salvo, but I actually do think that was Taylor's salvo that went right into that first battleship.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it was 2 quads.
the Fubuki, with how these games go, torpedoes are very, very strong, and of course we saw that this game with the thousands and thousands of damage we saw pumped into the battleships from destroyers. But I think you really want to focus on that destroyer versus destroyer fight and the ability to pump out damage gun-wise. Now I know there's been some, there's a Shima AFT build that's gaining some popularity, and of course you can do the same kind of thing with the Fubuki. But is it enough to make up for a Benson? Because if you get caught...
I think that I would personally bring a Fubuki if I wanted to get flood damage on people. Because if you can reliably get flood damage on battleships, and then you stack that with like your Mikhail or your Tago, you're gonna kill people really quick. But in every match we've seen, you know, the Fubuki's torps haven't even connected, let alone, you know, been reliable and doing flood damage and damage to people. So I don't know how much that is just the Fubuki not being in the right place at the right time to, you know, land those hits, or if the Fubuki's just not strong. It's definitely an interesting question.